Wherever you live in the UK, you're probably closer than you think to someone at risk from the cold. And with power prices soaring, so is the number of people living in fuel poverty. Grants are available, but the challenge is reaching those most in need, the elderly and very young, whose health is threatened by the lack of heat. A scheme in Gloucestershire is showing it can be done.
The Gloucestershire Warm and Well scheme promotes the health benefits of energy efficiency in the home, and it takes householders in Gloucestershire through from advice on energy efficiency to actually getting measures installed in their homes. We handhold them through that whole process.
Warm and Well is managed by the 7Y Energy Agency, a not-for-profit charity dedicated to improving energy efficiency through local action. In the 5 years since the programme started, they've advised 16,000 households and improved nearly 9,000 homes. That's about 3.5% of all households in the county. Latest to benefit is Mrs King, whose home is being insulated using the cavity wall technique. It may not look spectacular, but this is one of the most effective measures against heat loss. About 35% of heat escapes through the walls of people's homes, yet drilling holes and pumping insulation material into the gap between the interior and exterior walls has a dramatic effect.
It takes about 2 to 3 hours for a house this size, and they should notice a difference.
There's no shortage of households eligible for an upgrade. June Pearce is another beneficiary of cavity wall and loft insulation, both augmented by new radiator thermostat controls. She's noticed a difference, both to her pocket and her health.
It's been much warmer. Obviously in the winter I don't have to have my radiators up quite so high, so therefore the bills have been a lot lower, especially the winter quarter, which is always very high anyway, and that made quite a difference to that one. I don't get so many aches during the cold weather when I'm inside. I'm comfortable, I'm relaxed, I'm warm, I'm happy, I'm fine.
The benefits of energy-saving measures are so clear there is plenty of government funding, but schemes find it hard to target those most in need, especially in rural areas. Aware of the problem, Warm and Well uses as many media as possible to reach local groups across the county.
The BBC Radio Gloucestershire
Action Desk.
Get the very latest from the CSV Action Desk.
The Action Desk has been really busy as ever today, Martin, particularly with calls about the Warm and Well scheme. As you know, we're offering grants and discounts for loft and cavity wall installation to everyone across the county.
Staff from the NHS and local authorities are trained to recognise vulnerable households, while immigrant communities are also targeted.
I think this will be very popular when the word gets out, because it's a very easy service to access with a 0800 number, and they do offer leaflets in translated languages, and then people can access the facility quite easily, and then they can find out the information, and from then they can be assessed.
Another key to the programme's success is keeping applications simple. There's a single number for the public and professionals calling in. And at the other end of the line is an energy advisor, ready with the latest advice.
Good afternoon, Gloucestershire Energy Efficiency Advice Centre.
The next step is a home visit, where needs are fully assessed.
Do you know if you've got any insulation in your loft at all, on the floor of the loft?
Yes, we have, but it's only about 2 inches.
Because Warm and Well keep up to date with the demands of applications and grants, they can recommend the best course. And by sticking with the same installation company, over time they've been able to develop new areas of expertise like solar water heating. But the scheme couldn't have got this far without constant attendance at meetings with their partners across the county.
It's not good enough just to inform an organisation once about what you do. It's really important to get the personal contact, personal buy-in and commitment, particularly from people who are in decision-making roles. We need to keep reminding them that Warm and Well exists.
So how would an Ashden Prize help?
One thing we would do would be to try and spread the word elsewhere, to package our approach in an easily digestible form. Locally, we'd like to do more to reach vulnerable households in the under 60s group. We'd like to reach families with small children better than we do now, We'd like to reach adults with basic skills problems more effectively, and this takes a very targeted approach.
The north of England, with its industrial history, is not normally associated with environmental success stories, but with the decline of heavy industry, it's one of the few areas of the country where the environment has improved for the last 20 years. Now a primary school with top marks for sustainability is having a much wider impact than just among its pupils. Cassop School in County Durham was founded when the village was in the grip of a coal mining boom.
I mean, the pit was the pit. It was there. We were surrounded by them all. Every village had at least one. I mean, this village had 3 or 4. And you simply accepted that you had massive mountains of waste on your doorstep. The debate over where to put turbines and so on pales into insignificance when you think what an area like this had to put up with to produce energy.
Cassop School is changing that by producing its own clean, green power.
The actual generator is in that part that looks like a cannon at the back of it, so it's, you know, the 50 kilowatt generator in there with a brake at the end. This sort of 5 metres per second type wind, any time now it could actually just start and test the wind, and it'll run for sort of half a minute, and then if the equipment tells it it's not producing anything, it'll park itself again.
Fortunately, the school has another renewable energy source: waste wood that would otherwise have gone into landfill. The wood, which must be free from additives, is made into pellets which fuel a sophisticated gasifying boiler on the school premises. This provides for all the heating and hot water.
The temperature produced gasifies the wood, and in effect then it's burning sort of wood gas. Most of the shell of this is a big ceramic construction with pipes through it. So you've got a whole series of tubes through which the hot air is blasted and heats the huge water store here, which is sort of very well insulated.
On a calm day like today, the school needs electricity from conventional sources, but in general, Cassop School is a net exporter of electricity to the national grid.
We use this for teaching purposes. We take, at the moment, about 6 schools per term who come and visit us to learn about issues of renewable energy and sustainability.
The pupils of Cassop School know all about energy. They get a chance to have a hands-on experience of the technologies the school uses to generate power. Of course, the roof has a solar panel array.
The sun shines from the south onto the solar panels, which make the electricity go on all these wires, which brings it to the school.
Pretty much every day we make a little bit at least.
It's also the best place to learn the principles of wind power. Handheld anemometers tell pupils what the wind speed is. Back inside, and there's an element of competition.
We've got a little experiment called the Turbine Challenge. We've got 2 wind tunnels and we've got some aluminium discs. You can take off as many of the aluminium blades to see what rotates the best.
This is a challenge that's also set to visiting schools to see which design of turbine can generate the most electricity.
A 3-blade, small twist.
The school doesn't just output power, it outputs pupils who understand how the school is making a difference.
We're not producing as much carbon dioxide as if we're using coal, because all we're doing is putting the carbon dioxide that was in the tree to start with back into the air.
The whole basic thing is to stop global warming, because if global warming happens, then a lot of things that we wouldn't want would happen. Whereas some people don't care at all about it and thinking that, well, I'd like a spot of hot weather.
these villages would be one of the first villages in this area to have electricity, because the electricity used to be produced at the colliery long before there was a national grid. So we've gone from being, you know, energy producers, you know, 200 years ago to being energy producers now, and it's nice to look ahead rather than to look back.